Try to get out of the way. They're working on my live. Just wanted to quickly come live. I was going to wait for some peeps to join, but I'll just get straight into the point. Well, I've got one person in. Pop up and say hello. But yeah, I'm working on some readings for May. Obviously, April sort of got the collective readings, which I did in the last Monday Funday. But I'm doing obviously each zodiac signs readings for May. They should be out in the next couple of days, so keep an eye on the channel for those. Also, I've put a note in most of those readings that I've been working on to say that as far as the personals go, I've removed most services. The only one that I've been advertising is 20 minutes for £20, because if I do all the one question readings again, because I'm only just coming back on YouTube, I'm going to get a huge reflux. So just for a week or two, I'm just going to stick it with the 20 minutes for £20 just for now. Hey Ave Maria. So I'm just going to stick it at that for now. So if you do, for the regulars, especially if you want to come back and get your personals, I'm reopening them, but I'm just doing those for the meantime. Okay. And I've told a lot of people over the last couple of weeks, that's all I'm doing, that have come and asked me about readings to see if I'm doing them. I'm not doing personals today, Ava. So, but yeah, I just wanted to come on and just have a quick chat with everybody and see how everybody is. Pop up and say hello. Whoever's in the room. I can see 8 so far, 10. Just pop up and say hello, you guys, because it's been a while. Like I say, I'm going to be doing the hey VO. Oh, Violet. Hi, Violet. But yeah, like I say, I'm going to be getting your May monthlies out over the next couple of days. Hey, Tabby. Violet, I'm okay, darling. How are you? How are you? So yeah, you expect your May monthlies at some point over the next few days. Hey Lisa, hey Cindy. Wow, everybody's coming in. It's lovely to see you all. Seriously, I've missed everyone. But I mean, like I say, the energy's just been unpalpable, since this lockdown. Everybody's in distress and worried, and it's the unknown, isn't it? It's the unknown. I've been trying to feed people bits and bobs of information about what's going on. Hey Renee. I've been trying to let people know bits and bobs. Oh, thank you, Violet. It's really nice to see you guys here in the chat. And, if anyone can let me know how you're doing throughout this lockdown, let me know you're okay. Tabby, that Cappy guy's coming to see you tomorrow. Woohoo! Whoop, whoop. So, yeah. Lots and lots going on, you guys. So like I was saying, May monthlies are going to be out in the next couple of days. I did do collective April monthlies in the last Monday Funday. So if you haven't caught yours already, go check out that video. It's in the most recent Monday Funday. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys. So I did a few videos about off tarot topics. Okay, so mainly news related. Or should I say propaganda related? But sorry, my phone's literally been off the hook. It's crazy. So if you keep hearing that, I do apologize. But yeah, so what I thought about doing is actually doing like a mini series put directly into a playlist, so that, because I don't want to change channels. I was thinking, shall I create a new channel or not? Because it's something that, I feel passionate about. And then I thought, no, you know what? There is a spiritual element to what's going on. So I'm going to keep it on the channel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create more of those digging vids. I'm just going to put them into a separate playlist called Kay's Digs. So you can, those are, the first one I'm going to be putting out probably over the next few days. So yeah. Hey, Punya. I'm doing well, sweetheart. How are you? How are you coping? Hey, Lisa. I'm thriving under lockdown. I seem to do best under adversity. It's a Scorpio thing. It really is, isn't it? It's a Scorpio thing, that. I seem to be sort of doing best under adversity as well, believe it or not. But yeah, it's been a bit of a trying time energetic wise. So lots and lots of things are happening, lots and lots of things are going on, and people are just missing it left, right, and centre. So like I say, what I thought I'd do, I'm on a truth telling mission. So I'll be doing this little mini series called Kay's Digs, and I'll be creating a playlist for it just so people know where to find it, you know. Because on my channel it's got a tab that says playlist that you can click on. What I will say is I released a video back in December of 2018 and it's relevant for now. If you haven't seen it, go see. If you go on my playlists, you'll see a video called The World is Changing, the Plan. I think some of you need to watch that video if you haven't already. Your jaw might just hit the floor, seriously. It's a video that I wrote, and you can see the date it was released in December of 2018, and it's very relevant for this year. I actually mentioned 2020 in that vid. So it is very relevant. Put it like this, I knew something like this was going to happen. I just didn't know exactly what it was going to be. So there you go. But yeah, anyway, thank you, Tabby. Thank you, Punya. I'm doing great. A little guilty for how much I'm enjoying the lockdown. I know everybody seems to be really enjoying it, and it is nice, don't get me wrong. I think if it hadn't have been for my little digs here and there, you know, and a bit of research going on, then I don't think I would have coped as well as I have. I'll be honest with you. And, you know, panic and anxiety, things like that I've been trying to channel, and I've done so much work on myself over the last week just to ground myself, you know what I mean? There's quite a few really good meditation vids on YouTube that I've been using. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sending you so much love, Kay. Thank you, Punya. Thank you. But yeah, I'm doing well. The kids are doing well. You know, we're trying to make the best of a shitty situation, if I'm honest. That's what's going on. But like I say, I am making my comeback to the channel. So I'm going to be having some May monthlies coming out over the next few days. Cindy, yes, understand that feeling, yeah. I'm just happy in the lockdown with my mum. If I was by myself, it wouldn't have been as good. Yeah, I mean, like, I've got the kids, and it's so strange because I'm really close to my family, and I haven't physically seen my brother and my sister-in-law and my nieces and nephews now since before March 16th when I went in isolation. And that is, I feel heartbroken, not going to lie. You know, I love them all and I miss them all. I have seen my mum and dad, but the only way that I can see them, I mean, my mum, she's got quite a nice garden, and it's big enough for us to go around there and sort of, you know, she put a sun lounger out for me. So I've been taking my camping mug with my own coffee, driving around there, and we've been sitting across the garden from each other just so that we can have a normal conversation. Do you know what I mean? But that's the only way. I can't hug my mum. I can't hug her because my dad's a key worker, you see. He's working on empty houses, you know, fixing them up and stuff to house the homeless during this crisis. So, yeah, he's a hero, I guess you could say. But because he's a key worker and he's still out there and working, I can't go anywhere near him. And that's not nice, you know. But again, it's something that you have to learn to adjust to. And I'm in the understanding that all this is happening for a very good reason, you know what I mean? So whether it be about the virus or not, there's a lot of things going on under the surface. And like I say, I'm going to need a video of its own to bleed and let you guys fully understand. Some of you have already paid attention when I've released these little videos here and there, which is handy. But yes, there's a lot going on. I can't see them in my angels, Kay, but I'm heartbroken. Mother, yeah. Bless you, Cindy. Bless you. Violet, at least I have my family by my side in this time. So grateful for this. Yeah, it does. It puts things into perspective. It sort of makes you realise what's important and what's not. It really does. It does. It gives you that mortality perspective. that, you know, life can be taken away at the drop of a hat, and the people in your life, you know, if you care enough about them, if you love them enough, it puts things into perspective a little bit. You know, you actually sit there and you think, Jesus, what if that person or this person or that person wasn't in my life? What if they were taken away? How would that make me feel? And I think a lot of people need to start again, you know, allowing those thoughts, because a lot of people will run from those kind of thoughts. But during this time, it's handy to face those kind of thoughts, because it does put things into perspective. And it also highlights just how ugly humanity have been to each other. I've seen stuff online that would make your toes curl. Just as an example, I was on Twitter, when was it? It was yesterday. And I saw a post where a letter was put on this person wrote a letter and put it on their neighbour's door, saying, you know, this is self-isolation, we are social distancing, so no families should be coming to this house, no friends should be coming to this house, you know, respect social distancing. And from what I could gather, the only people that have been going to this particular house were friends and family dropping groceries off and stuff like that. And it's one of those situations that makes you realise exactly how people like Stalin and Hitler got as much power as they did, because they relied on the public to rat on each other. And that's just one example of how ugly humanity can be. And this isn't something that humanity is naturally capable of. This is all programmed. All that, you know, all the authorities have to do is say, do this, and for some strange reason, unbeknownst to me, everybody seems to want to fucking do it. Don't get me wrong, social distancing is necessary. And when you see groups of people that are all together, yeah, they should not be doing that. They need telling. But a lot of people are taking this one step too fucking far, like they're on a fucking power trip. And it's those people that I'm saying right here, right now, sit the fuck down and chill. Yeah? They sent out memos here, said we would get lease violation if we have visitors. See what I mean? It's already starting. It's already starting. Renee, it is fucking crazy, but it's what's been going on. Instead of actually targeting the ones that need to be targeted, everybody's too busy ratting on each other because they've nothing better to do. And it's very fucking ugly. But sending positive vibes and I'll stay strong, Tabby. Yeah. Hey, Arby. I don't know what you're calling me fucking cutie for. I don't feel it at the minute. Oh, dear. Hey, Tudor Rose is in the house. In my state, Virginia, people are starting to protest against the bullshit. Good, good. I'm pleased to hear that. That's the thing. Everybody seems to think, why am I swearing? Because that's what I do. Seriously. Anyway, fucking hell. Right. So I'm gonna have a smoke as well if you want to pull me up on that. Anyway, a lot of people are going to start taking a stand, and that is not a bad thing. What's really going on, you guys? It's called what I suppose we call an information war. And that's exactly what's going on. Don't get me wrong, there's a physical war going on, you know, what we call a silent war going on that you may not be aware of unless you are paying attention. So at the end of the day, General Milley came on one of Trump's press conferences and told everyone, and Trump's told everyone exactly what's going on. And again, you would miss it if you're not paying attention. So I came out a few weeks ago and said, I think that there's a human trafficking rescue mission going on. And I was just sat there waiting for the confirmation. Well, I got it. And I couldn't believe it. I actually tuned into one of his press conferences, and he said word for word, we have got a fleet in the Caribbean taking on drug trafficking. And then I couldn't believe it when he said it. He says, we're also taking on human trafficking. We've already saved one young woman, he says, who was in captivity and was horrendously abused. That were Trump's words. This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, he reiterated it and said, we've got a fleet in the Caribbean that are taking on the drug trafficking cartels, but they're also taking on human trafficking. And we've been rescuing victims of trafficking, namely children. So I was right. And I'm not the only one that was right. There's a lot of people that were speculating this. But we got the confirmation. And then Gerald Miller came on and actually sort of gave the game away again and said, look, you know, we've got this fleet in the Caribbean. You ain't penetrating the US. You ain't getting in here. You ain't killing any more people. So I was right. There is a rescue mission going on for victims of trafficking, namely children. And I did say this quite a few weeks ago. If you go back over my videos, you'll see. And I want to reiterate a bit more on that. And I'm not the only one who's been speculating this, okay? If you actually go and check out a channel called Liz Crokin, she used to be a celebrity journalist. She used to interview celebrities and shit for a paper. I can't remember if it was the Washington Post or New York Times or something like that. But yeah, Lisa, for April, you said I'd be able to slow down at work and breathe, hence lockdown. Well, there you go, my darling. But yeah, like I say, you check out Liz Crokin. She actually did a mini-series actually saying, I think it's 5 videos that she did. And she's a really good digger and researcher. Of course, she was a journalist by nature. The only reason why she had to leave the position that she was in was because she wanted to report and dig a bit further on Pizzagate, and they stopped her. They completely, hey Sully, sorry Ayla, they completely stopped her and outcasted her from, blacklisted her from ever working as a journalist in the public eye again. So she turned to citizen journalism. She did a series called "Is the Virus Cover for Mass Arrests?" I suggest you go watch that. And there's another video that you guys can go check out as well. It's called Out of Shadows. And it's about a guy who's a stuntman in Hollywood. And he was in a lot of big films, and he tells you about it. And he tells you about his awakening process. And it's one of the most amazing videos. Put it like this. I sent this video to my dad, who's a military veteran, very straightforward guy. I sent this video to my dad. He actually came to me and said, this is real, isn't it? I said, yeah, it is. I've been looking into this stuff now for 3 years. Renee, thank you, Kay, for talking about this. People need to know about Out of Shadows. Yeah, Renee, was it you who sent me the link in the email and I said I'd already watched it? I think it was you, wasn't it? But yeah, people need to watch these videos. Yes, Renee. Well, we go one, we go all, baby. But yes, so people need to start paying attention. And not just that, about this virus. So, I mean, I've done a few tarot readings. I've done regular tarot, like people have asked me in tarot readings, when is this pandemic going to end? And a lady that I was tutoring, we did a reading on it as well. And the stuff that were coming out in these readings blew me away, because I never expected to be able to pick up on this kind of stuff in a fucking tarot reading. But what I'm going to tell you, so the first one, when the lady that I was tutoring, whether she's watching now or wants to say it was her, is up to her. But I'm going to keep her confidential for now, because like I say, it's just teaching tarot, and we didn't really have anything else to, because she had to practice spreads, and we didn't really have anything else to look into. So she was like, yeah, let's look into this whole situation and what's really going on. And out of this reading, thank you, the ones in the house, whoop whoop, welcome. So out of this reading, We got the moon in the reverse with the high priestess reversed as the central issue. 5-card spread, a basic one. That told us everything we needed to know. Shit's coming out and we're going to find out the truth. And it ain't what we think it is. As simple as that. And then I did a reading earlier on today, actually. Again, I'll keep it confidential, but she wanted to know when this pandemic was going to be ending. So I did a reading on it. And the main message was, this ain't ending until justice has been served. It was as simple as that. And we were looking roughly at about 8 weeks. So yeah, people could have another 8 weeks of this, 2 months. But it said, nobody's coming out of this fucking pandemic lockdown shit. Not fully, as in social distancing, not fully until justice has been served. Well, where does justice need to be served in a fucking virus pandemic? Unless it was fucking lab bioweapon, or until everybody who's been involved in these trafficking cases has been fucking caught. And this can go right to the top, you guys. Don't think anybody at the top is safe, ever. Don't ever think that, because they're not. You're going to start to find out everybody who you thought you could trust, you can't. Everybody you thought you couldn't trust, you can. Seriously. It's a huge wake-up call. It's a whole thing. The whole thing. Seriously, you need to go watch Outer Shadows. You need to go watch Liz Crokin's videos. Because this isn't just opinion. This is the problem. Too many people will lead by emotion because of opinion. And there's no logic in that. There's no rationalization in that. More people need to use logic and rationalize this stuff. And pay attention to the facts. Pay attention to evidence, which ain't hard to find. None of this is hard to find. He's far from falling. He's not falling. He ain't. I'm just going to level with you now. Trump's not going anywhere, whether you want to hear that or not. Like I say, more people need to stop leading by emotion and opinion. And this is the problem with the mainstream media. So Trump has been very vocal about the fake news mainstream media. And everybody's thinking, how can anybody attack the mainstream media? The mainstream media always tell the fucking truth. No, they don't. No, they don't. Years ago, if you look back like 20 years ago, when journalism and investigative journalism was actually a thing, they used to name their sources. They used to be absolutely clear about where their information was coming from. And now there's none of that. There's no such thing right now in the 21st century as investigative journalism. It don't exist. Because every journalist is given a memo of what they can write about. They cannot write about anything other than what they're told to write about. Any anchor on any news channel cannot say what they want. They are given a script. They cannot do or say what they... Not like it used to be. Absolutely not. It's not like it used to be. And that on its own should ring red flags. So if you're confused about this, I did a video not long ago about taking on the fake news. I want you to go watch that video before you come bashing me with opinion and emotion, which I'm literally good. It's going to go, I'm just going to level with you now. It's going to go through one ear and out the other. I'm not even going to process any kind of emotional comeback from this, because that's all this would be, is an emotional comeback. If you don't agree with me, it's an emotional comeback. There's no evidence backing you up to have that kind of reaction. So instead, go look at that video and I'll give you the proof that they've been making shit up as they go. I've put the proof in the fucking video. And there's going to be more of that to come. Yeah, exactly. Well, sensationalism is a trend. And it's an emotionally led reaction. Sensationalism is an emotionally led reaction. People don't want to pay attention to the truth and the facts because they are too emotionally invested in what they believe. And when somebody's belief systems are shaken to the core in this way, the only reaction is anger and insult. And this is something I don't take too kindly to, because believe me, I'm all over Twitter. You know, I won't give my Twitter handle out because there's no way I'm fucking taking on shills and bots at this point. But what I will say is, every single time I've put anything out, whether it be on my YouTube channel, I've had emotional responses on my YouTube channel as well, right? And each and every single time, the answer is always the same. If you can't handle the truth, you're going to insult. And I'm not interested in your fucking insults. I'm not interested in your emotional opinion. I'm interested in facts. I'm interested in evidence. And believe me, if facts and evidence and any kind of proof, right, put the people that I support at any kind of a detriment, believe me, I wouldn't mind half as much. But the fact that people don't even want to look, they don't even want to do a dig without pulling up mainstream fake news. Seriously, just as an example, let me give you an example, okay? So, I've got two Facebooks. I've got one for the tarot, one personal. And on my personal one, there's over 500 people as my friends, okay? And I log on one day, and this was after the Paula Reed incident at the press conference. So I log in one day and I see a shitload of people. It was people who I would consider friends or acquaintances talking about Trump being so disrespectful and acting a fool towards Paula Reed. Because he did in a roundabout way. She wanted to know what was done in Fab. What was done in Fab? He had that opportunity, and he said, "Look, we did a lot. We did a lot." And he said it several times, actually. We did a lot, but he didn't go into details, and that's for a reason, because he doesn't owe anything to Paula Reed. He owes nothing to Paula Reed, and I'm going to tell you why. So, people who don't take shit at face value. So I saw this, and I'm like, yeah, on the surface, Trump was a bit disrespectful, but then we go digging. Why? That's the thing. Nobody asks questions anymore. I look at someone and I ask a million questions off of one subject. And my main question was, why doesn't Trump want to talk to her? Why? So we did some digging. And what we found was Paula Reed works for CBN. Now, CBN was the culprit that actually put out a video of an Italian hospital and passed it off as Elmhurst in, I think it's Brooklyn, New York. Right? So CBN, the epitome of fucking fake news. And as we all know, Trump is on a fucking mission against the fake news. And he has been for a long time. I mean, he has to put things on his Twitter account to bypass the fake news, just so that anybody following him can get the truth. So anyway, this Paula Reed, we dug a bit deeper. Surely this cannot all be about CBN. So we dug a bit deeper into Paula Reed, me and a bunch of other researchers. And what we found was her husband is a lobbyist for China. Yeah. He went to university in China. He is a diplomatic lobbyist on behalf of China. His name's Jason Reed. So what I mean, I'm not coming at you with fucking opinion. I'm coming at you with facts. If you can't handle the facts, that's not my problem. So this Paula is pushing to know what the consequences are with China. And he blatantly said, I ain't telling you. I ain't telling you. You're the last person I'd tell. How do you know there's no consequences with China? And he was blatantly saying, yes, there is, but I'm not telling you. And that was for a reason. For one, you have to think national security. If China's going to get repercussions and consequences over this, there is no way he's giving his game plan away. He doesn't want China preparing for the consequences to worm their way out of it. Fuck no. So anyway, that was just the first ha-ha moment. And then the fact that this guy, her husband, is a fucking lobbyist for China, and she's mouthing away at him. And then when you actually understand the truth behind it and you look at it again, because at first glance, it's, oh my God, Trump's having a right go at this woman. She's a woman on her own, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know how he can do that. But then when you actually look at it from a different perspective, you think, that woman needs to shut her fucking mouth and quickly. And Trump did the right thing. So again, it's all about context. If you don't understand the context, because you cannot be bothered to go and look and think for yourself, whose problem is that? It's not mine. It's not Trump's. It's not even Paula Reid's. It's your own fault if you can't be asked to look. So, hey, Michelle's in the house. So anyway, let's talk about what did happen in Feb. This was another thing. We wanted to understand why. I mean, yeah, okay, now we get it. He just didn't. It weren't the fact that he didn't want to tell her what was going on in Feb. It was the mere fact that, because I think if any other reporter would have asked him, he'd have told him. But because it were her, and he knows everything, and now we do. He didn't want to talk to her at all. It's got nothing to do with February. He just didn't want to talk to her. He didn't want to give her anything. For one, because of who she is, and for two, because of who she works for. So we actually had a look to see what was done in Feb. What did Donald Trump do in February? The big question that everybody wanted to know. That all the media was fucking hyping up. He refused to say what was going on in February. He refused to say what was going on. Not a single media company bothered to look and see what any other citizen journalist could see. What does that tell you about mainstream media? Because we know, we found out, we looked at what he was doing in February. Not a single mainstream media company printed what Trump was doing. All they were interested in was the fact that he refused to say. So they're printing articles saying, yeah, Trump refused to say. Why wouldn't they say what he was doing? I'm going to tell you now, and you're going to understand why they weren't printing it, and they were more interested in the petty partisan division there. So, the impeachment trial was still ongoing in February. So we had that to deal with. And bear in mind, this involves a hell of a lot of meetings and briefings. So we had that to deal with, and then later in the month, he was acquitted. Believe me, if there was a reason to denounce him as president of the United States, that hearing on its own would have done it. They found nothing. They couldn't. You can't impeach someone when the evidence is so very little, and it was rushed through the fucking house. If you actually go back and look at the footage of the house, you will see how fucking partisan this shit was. So, moving forward, what else was going on in February? He was having, and when I say daily, I mean daily. He was having daily meetings with the Ministry, with the Department of Defense, with General Milley, with all these fucking admirals and generals about the operation that's now taking place. The trafficking of drugs and humans and children. These meetings were going on every single day. And if you go back through his Twitter account, like any other mainstream media journalist should have fucking done, you'd see that. Go back through his Twitter. There's a lot of scrolling to do. But you know what? If you really want the truth, you go and do it. You won't just take my word for it. There was a lot of meetings going on. He signed several executive orders, making it more easy to prosecute these people that have been involved with trafficking drugs and humans and children. And not just that, he's also made it easier to issue harsher punishments. Yeah, what a fucking jerk. So you guys, like I say, you can't be running off fucking opinion. You can't be running off fucking emotion with this stuff. There's a reason they couldn't impeach him, or should I say remove him through impeachment. There's a reason that the whole fucking, what's it called, Russian collusion fell flat on its face. Did you not watch the Mueller hearing? Again, if you don't look at this stuff, you don't know the truth. If you want to go back and watch that hearing, the only thing Mueller says is, can't answer that, can't answer that, can't answer that. The whole way through. The whole way through. He answered nothing. Everybody wanted to know, was there Russian collusion? Mueller couldn't say. Mueller couldn't say. For a fucking reason. And again, because they didn't get the answer they wanted, they started over analysing little pieces and bobs that were in that report. What I will say is, you're going to start hearing a term called Pfizergate over the next few months, and be surprised if you haven't already. And that is going to actually blow open that whole Russian collusion case. It's going to blow it all wide open. You want to look up a document actually that was, and this might shock a few people, and it exists. You can Google it and find it. So there's a letter that was sent from Robert Hannigan of GCHQ in the UK to Boris Johnson back when he was Foreign Secretary. And in this letter, it specifically talks about Project Folsom. If you don't know what Project Folsom is, go look it up. But another thing it says is, Robert Hannigan says in this letter, look, Boris, we've had this request come in from Susan Rice. And you all know Susan Rice was working in the Obama administration. And this letter was delivered on the 17th of November. And it specifically said, we want to continue surveillance on the Trump campaign. It says it, word for word. Word for fucking word in this letter. You can Google it. And if you just go search GCHQ letter to Boris Johnson, including Susan Rice, you'll find it. And it says they want to continue another 9 weeks, I think it said, of the surveillance. And there's a problem with that, because the surveillance while he was in an election campaign is one thing. That's espionage. But then you go to surveilling, because bear in mind, we're talking the 17th of November 2016. He was inaugurated in November. And if this was going to continue for another 9 weeks, this would have gone right into the first month of his presidency. This moves into fucking the realm of treason. You can't spy on a fucking president and get away with it. It's as simple as that. So again, you guys really need to start doing your own digs and paying attention. Go look up that letter. Go look up the vids that I've recommended. And I will be releasing some more digs. Some are going to be more document-based. Others are going to be a little bit sicker than that. But again, I'm just putting the truth out. Everybody should know the truth. Everybody should know the truth. Everybody should be able to discern for themselves. And like I always say, don't take what I say at face value. Go look for yourselves. Go look for yourselves. It's, everything I'm saying, you can look for yourself. It's nothing new. Hey, Andy, Cindy. This was all happening from November 2016. Everything that's been going on has been going on since November 2016. I shit you not. They attack those they fear the most. So why on earth did they fear Donald Trump in power? And believe me, this has got nothing to do with corruption, and not on his part at the very least, and everything to do with protecting ill-gotten gains. That's what this was. That's what this was. Who knew this? And again, this is nothing new. You can search it for yourself. That Jeffrey Epstein made before he got arrested again. He paid a huge amount of money to Harvard University. The same university that then paid and sent a Harvard professor over to Wuhan to work on some bioweapons in Wuhan. And lo and behold, yes, earlier on this year that Harvard professor was arrested. So, you know, like I say, this is probably something you should look for yourself. I think that's the key to this, is actually taking a step back and thinking, right, okay, I'm in lockdown. I've got nothing better to do. Let's find out exactly the kind of world that we're living in. And the way that I see it is, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And the solution right now is tackling the information war head on, because that's exactly what this is. It's an information war. One side wants you to know one thing, another side wants you to know another. And then we're caught in the middle. And this is more about waking up. This is more about actually saying, right, okay, I'm not just going to jump because the fucking mainstream media has said jump. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look and find out why. I want you to question everything. Why? Why is this happening? Why is that person saying this? What? Go look why. You'll find everything you need to fucking know. The one, he can't keep secrets, and Trump and Epstein were tight over 20 years. No, they were not. Trump met Epstein once at a Mar-a-Lago do. Once, that's it. So any photos you see of Trump and Epstein, it's from that one do. You never ever see a photo of Trump and Epstein. Not like that. Again, ever since. They've not been friends for 20 years at all. See what I mean? You need to go look it up for yourself, darling. It's all right. It's just, you know, especially on my channel, I'm not having anybody putting out disinformation. And that is disinformation, no offense. But yeah, basically, Trump traveled on his flight once, and I think it was either to or from Paris. But then you've got to think, who went to Epstein's island? Who went to the island? Trump didn't go to the fucking island. He's never stepped foot on that island. Why? Because we read the flight docs. We read the flight documents. But they were, seriously, again, it's disinformation. They were not tight. They were not tight. You may have seen them at parties and such, but they were not acquainted. This was in passing. This was, and also another thing what you have to think about Epstein is, Trump was a man that could not be bought. Okay, so let me just clarify this right here, right now, before this goes any further. So Trump was a man that couldn't be bought. Okay. So Epstein had no dealings with Trump whatsoever, because Epstein's line of work was blackmail. Epstein's line of work was blackmailing people in order to control them, have them controlled by somebody else. You find Epstein was probably working for the Rothschilds, okay? So, in other words, and this is proof, listen to this. Go check out Project Veritas. Amy Robach got caught on a hot mic telling everybody exactly what Epstein was doing. He was procuring young girls. Ghislaine Maxwell was procuring young girls for Epstein's business. And Epstein's business was blackmail. Amy Robach said this on a hot mic. You know the anchor for ABC? Go look it up. It's on Project Veritas. So, Trump was a rich man by that point. He did not need to be blackmailed. And that's how you know there was probably very, very fucking little, despite what photos say, going on between Trump and Epstein. Trump never went to his island. And now I'm going to talk about this island of Epstein's. So when the FBI raided it, they found a system of tunnels underneath the island. And there was a girl called Ray Chandler who was working for Epstein, who was also procuring girls through a modeling agency. Young girls and boys and you know, teenagers through a modeling agency. So you're going to probably see Rachel Chandler's name in the news at some point. You've got to think along the lines of Alison Mack. You know that actress from Smallville? So he did not. Where the hell are you getting this from? There is no evidence to say that Trump paid for sex through Epstein at all. There is no evidence of that. If you have evidence, darling, you email it me. Don't, you know, email me. If you have evidence, email me. Or at least link a website for the entire chat room. Link a website for the entire chat room. Right, anyway. So, Epstein's Island. So Rachel Chandler was procuring, and these young girls and these young boys, right, were being bought off a website by Epstein, taken straight to the island and put in these fucking tunnels. And then you go on Rachel Chandler's Instagram and you'll find a CCTV camera picture of about 9 different rooms, okay? And you can clearly see there's something dodgy going on. I know you're not but at the same time, because I've been studying this for a long time, 3 years in fact, I'd have found evidence of that if it were true. So if you've got evidence, send it my way. I won't argue with you if it's fact, but I don't think that's true. Anyway, like I was saying, Epstein's Island. So it was an orgy island and they kept tunnels underneath the island. And the FBI found these tunnels and they were actually blown to smithereens by the time everybody inside had been rescued and released and whatnot. There was a lot of hush hush around it. I mean, drones were trying to fly over the top to see what were going on and were being shot down. You know, the public were trying to get drones over this island while this was going on. They were shot down because they don't want the public fucking knowing this just yet. Anyway, a few insiders came forward and said what was going on. Trump never flew to that island. So bearing in mind what was underneath that island, Trump never flew to that island. But I'm going to tell you who did, because we checked the flight logs. The flight logs are online. You can check them for yourself. Let's take a look at these flight logs. Let's take a look at that. So you're going to find names like Kevin Spacey. You're going to find Bill and Hillary Clinton. You're going to find that Lex Wesner or whatever is fucking, you know, the guy from Victoria's Secret. You're going to find him on it. You're going to find a lot of people on it. But who went to that island? Trump didn't go to that island. Trump did not go to that island. Go look for yourself. There was one flight that Trump was on, and that was not to the fucking island. That was like a Cajun, a lift, I think, from either Paris or to Paris, something like that. But like I say, you can find it for yourself. And then you have to think about Hillary Clinton. Why the fuck is she tied to Jeffrey Epstein the way that she is? Well, you only have to look at Haiti and what happened in Haiti to understand that. So there was a lady called Laura Silsbury who was arrested. She was a missionary and she was actually working for Child Protective Services. And she was arrested trafficking 33 children out of Haiti. And this is documented. This was in the news. You can see this. She was working for Hillary Clinton. I shit you not. And that's proven as well. You can go look that up as well. That was proven too. Anyway, I'm not going to continue sitting here and whatnot because, like I say, at the end of the day, evidence speaks volumes. And if anybody's got any evidence, and by evidence, I mean, don't go sending me no fucking mainstream media articles. Don't. If you send me something from CNN, CBN, ABC, the lot, I'm going to tell you to fuck off. It's as simple as that because it's propaganda. Joseph Goebbels would be so fucking proud. Don't go sending me shit like that. I want documents. I want evidence. If you got images, send it me. If you got evidence, send it me. This is more about people starting to think for themselves. Renee, where we go one, we go all. Seriously. Go look up the amount of trafficking busts in the last 3 years. It is vast. It is so fucking vast. Go look up the amount of indictments and sealed indictments in the US alone. I think it's hit something like 164,000. That is a huge amount of sealed indictments. Do you know how many sealed indictments there were in Obama's 2 terms? 2 terms. No more than 40,000. Trump's come out and there's 160,000 sealed indictments. And the reason why they're sealed is because once they're released, rats have got an opportunity to run. So this is more a case of seal as arrest. I'm just saying it. This goes very high up. Very high up. And the network is so vast. The network of criminals is so vast, it'll make your head wobble. It made my fucking head wobble. Let's just put it like that. And this is something I've been looking into for 3 years. And believe me when I say everything that the mainstream media has put out, including Trump's ties to Epstein, I've found evidence against it, which I'm more than happy to share. More than happy to share. Email me. I've got no problem with that. If you're ready to actually start knowing the truth, instead of repeating like a fucking puppet everything the mainstream media is telling you, if you're actually ready to start thinking for yourself and seeing for yourself, let me know. I'm not here to insult anyone. I'm not here to go against anyone. I'm here to help. I care deeply about my friends and my subscribers. And it hurts to know that so many of you are asleep at the wheel. So, panic is the virus. Panic and fear spreads quicker than this virus. That is what the virus is. I'm just saying it. All right, yeah, there's something might have been released from a lab. I do speculate whether or not it left Wuhan, but I can't put a factual basis on that. That's just my theory. And that's, again, that's the thing. If it's a theory, I'm going to tell you it's a theory. So I do speculate it never left Wuhan. I do speculate that much. But again, I've no evidence to back that up at this point. So it's something that I'm still looking into. But if I find anything, I'll let you know. But what I can tell you is, and this is worldwide, cancer deaths, flu deaths, you know, any other lung disease other than coronavirus deaths have all gone down as corona deaths have gone up. And we actually tracked the weekly deaths in the UK, and the average about 11,500. Up to press, that number hasn't changed. There are still about 11,000 odd deaths in the UK every week. So when coronavirus came back, you'd half expect those deaths to go up quite drastically, and they haven't. They actually haven't. So, but again, this is something that you can look into for yourself in your own countries. Check out death rates, death statistics in your own countries. You should be able to figure this stuff out pretty easily. Some people just needed to know where to look and what to look for in order to find this stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go. I only really came on to have a bit of a catch up and sort of let everybody know that I'm going to be releasing the May monthlies over the next few days and about the personals as well. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there for now, and I'm going to shoot, and I will see you guys soon. I love each and every one of you. And believe me, there is no argument here, darling. If you've got something that I need to see, send it me. I will go through it very carefully. And if there is a point to be made, I will make it, and I will eat my fucking words if I have to, okay? There is no fucking beef here at all. There is no argument here at all, okay? This is about sharing information and working with each other. And if there's something I don't understand, help me understand it. If there's something you don't understand and you need help with, I'll help you. Sometimes, like I say, people just need help to see where to look. Right, I'm done anyway. I'm done. I love you all. And we'll speak soon, okay? Take care. Bye for now.